everyone, welcome to Standard 11, lesson number 4, Kingdom Animalia. Now in this, today we are going to study class Amphibia. What do you mean by Amphibia? Amphi means both and bias means life. Means the animals which can live on the land as well as in water. These animals are called as amphibian animals. Now let us study the examples. The first example is Rana, which is also called as a frog. Second example is Buffo, which is also called as a toad. Third example is Salamandra, which is also called as salamander. Fourth example is Ichthyophis, which is also called as limbless amphibian. And next example is Hyla, which is also called as a tree frog. Now the question is, what is the difference between frog and toad? Let us study the difference between frog and toad. Here are the differences. The basic difference between frog and toad is, if you observe the skin of the frog and if you observe the skin of the toad, the frog skin is very smooth and slimy, whereas in case of toad, the skin is dry, warty. Means what? The bumps are present on the skin. So externally easily we can identify if on the skin the bumps are present, then definitely that is toad, and if the skin is very smooth and slimy, that is frog. This is the first difference. The second difference, frog lives in or nearby water their whole life, whereas toads are much more adapted to living on dry land. Third difference, the frog, they have long legs. Here if you see the legs of frog, they have very long legs, larger than their head and body, which are made for hopping purpose. Whereas in case of toad, if you see the leg, they are very short legs and they prefer to crawl around rather than hop. Now the next difference is, in case of frog, they have teeth in the upper jaw, but in case of toad, they don't have teeth. Frog eggs are found in a mass. Mass means in a bundles, whereas in case of toad, the eggs are more in chain. So these are the few basic differences in between frog and toad. Now let us study few more interesting facts related to these organisms or these animals. Salamandra, which is also called as salamander. They are lizard-like appearance with slender body. If you see the body, their body is slender. Some salamander species can be poisonous, means they are very dangerous, and some even have teeth also. Some salamanders and frog, they have tongue up to 10 times as long as their body. Now let us study the characteristic or the interesting facts related to Ichthyophis, which is also called as limbless amphibian. They are long, snake-like organisms. They are limbless amphibians and usually live in moist soil. They lead burrowing life. Now let us see or let us study the interesting facts related to Hyla, which is also called as a tree frog. There are about 700 different species of these frog. And why they are called as tree frog? The reason is they spend much of their life on the tree. That's why they are called as tree frog. They need clean water, especially in breeding season. Now let us study the characteristic of class Amphibia. Examples already we have studied: rana, which is called as frog, bufo means toad, salamandra means salamander, ichthyophis limbless amphibians, hyla means tree frog. Amphibia include the animals which lives on land as well as in water and specifically fresh water only. Second characteristic, they are poikilothermic animals. Now what do you mean by poikilothermic animals? The animals whose body temperature changes according to environmental temperature. Such animals are called as poikilothermic animals. We are homeothermic animals. Human beings are homeothermic animals because our body temperature remain constant in spite of change in external temperature. Here the third difference is body is divided into head and trunk. This is the head and this is the trunk. Neck and tail is usually absent in many adults with few exceptions. The skin is moist, glandular with mucus gland. Exoskeleton is absent. In case of birds, if you see, the exoskeleton is in the form of feathers. Here they don't have exoskeleton. Eyelids are present. Third, tympanum represents the ear. These animals, they don't have proper ear. Okay, means ear is not very well developed. But still, tympanum, which is also called as a eardrum, which is the hearing organ in case of frog. Excretory products, digestive waste and gametes are released through common chamber called as cloaca. Next characteristic, the circulatory system is of closed type. What do you mean by closed type of circulatory system? The blood, when it flows through blood vessel, then it is called as closed type of circulatory system. Heart is 3-chambered and ventral in position. Now in case of human being, the heart is 4-chambered, but in case of these organisms, the heart is 3-chambered, means 2 atria and only 1 ventricle is present. RBCs are biconvex and nucleated. Respiration is by skin, lungs and buccopharynx. Nervous system is well developed, means their brain is well developed. Sexes are separate. These animals, they are oviparous. Oviparous means most of these organisms, they lay eggs. Fertilization is external. External means the eggs, they are released outside the body and then they are fertilized. Development is indirect through aquatic larval stage. Now indirect development means, if you study or if you see in this picture, you can see here these are the eggs. Eggs hatches into this tadpole, then tadpole it converts into tiny froglets and froglets they are converted into big frog. So there are many stages in the life cycle. So such development is called as indirect development. Okay. Now here the next characteristic is they show metamorphosis. Metamorphosis means the changes in the stages. There are different stages in the life cycle. Okay. So such life cycle is called as metamorphic life cycle, or they shows metamorphosis.